Tonight, primetime boxing comes to Brooklyn for two main events. Undefeated Philadelphia native Danny Garcia takes on Washington, D.C.'s Lamont Peterson in a compelling matchup. But up first, hard-hitting Irishman Andy Lee against Brooklyn's own Peter Kid Chocolate Quillin. Tonight, a capacity crowd will fill Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York.
We are ready for the main event.
But well before every seat has been taken, a fighter's real work has been done. Hours spent refining their craft, working closely with those that believe in them most, and drawing upon the road that led them to the ring.
The right hand and a combination.
For Peter Quillin, that road is here in Brooklyn, where he's lived since he was 18, having worked 3 jobs trying to make his dream of reaching the top of his sport a reality. His opponent, Andy Lee, is from Ireland, and the southpaw brings a mean right hook, which has earned him a title. 21 years ago, Washington, D.C. native Lamont Peterson was homeless. Today, he's a star, with a deep appreciation for the life he's worked tirelessly to attain. Tonight, he faces the undefeated Danny Garcia, continuing the rich boxing legacy of his hometown, Philadelphia, with his father by his side. 4 fighters fueled by their past, all in action tonight on Premier Boxing Champions. Well, the 2.5-year-old Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York is the site for a big night of boxing. A sellout crowd of 12,000 expected here. I'm Al Michaels, and this is the second Premier Boxing Champions telecast on NBC. This series puts the focus on the fighters and what they hope will be their road to the top. And that will be in evidence tonight with 2 12-round main events. Up first, you'll see Andy Lee coming off 2 come-from-behind knockout victories against undefeated Peter Quillin of Brooklyn, fighting for the first time in almost a year. Then you'll see unbeaten champion Danny Swift Garcia facing Lamont Peterson at 143 pounds, a fight that has a lot of intrigue. So it's Swift Garcia against Havoc Peterson. It's all about nicknames in boxing, which leads us to the man who called 7 innings of 7 hours.
7 hours.
19 innings of Yankees Red Sox last night, one rapping Roberto Costas. Fancy meeting you here, by the way.
Thank you, Alfalfa. And since we're all from New York, pretty soon we'll welcome in marvelous Marv Albert. And, you know, we remember growing up following this sport, sometimes attending the big fights here, that this really was the mecca of boxing. These days, maybe if there's a city we associate with boxing in the U.S., it has to be Las Vegas. But for much of the 20th century, before so many big fights moved to Vegas, the most anticipated and most historic fights often happened here in New York. There are far too many to cite them all. So, with apologies to the likes of Tony Zale, Henry Armstrong, the Cinderella Man, Jim Braddock, Rocky Graziano, Archie Moore, Jersey Joe Walcott, Rocky Marciano, Emil Griffith, Dick Tiger, and so many more. Here's just a small sample of the memorable fights at New York's iconic venues.
1923, the Polo Grounds plays host to an insanely frenetic fight. Heavyweight champ Jack Dempsey knocks down Luis Firpo 7 times in the first round alone. But Firpo somehow gets up and sends Dempsey clear through the ropes in that same round. Dempsey climbs back into the ring by the count of 9 and then finishes Firpo off with a knockout in round 2. June 1938. More than 70,000 fans fill Yankee Stadium to see heavyweight champ Joe Louis face Germany's Max Schmeling. 2 years earlier, Schmeling had defeated Louis. Now the rematch is heavy with symbolism. Schmeling, perhaps unwittingly, is positioned as a representative of Hitler's Nazi Germany. Louis, meanwhile, despite the blatant racism he and other African Americans face, is now held up as America's hero. He didn't let his countrymen down. Louis sent Schmeling to the canvas 3 times in the first round. The fight was over in 2 minutes. Of course, New York's boxing history also includes the signature fights at Madison Square Garden. In 1942, Sugar Ray Robinson defeated Jake LaMotta in the first of their 6 brutal and bloody bouts. 5 of them won by Robinson, regarded by most as the best pound-for-pound fighter ever, while LaMotta's legendary toughness was forever certified when Robert De Niro portrayed him in Raging Bull. 1971, MSG plays host to the fight of the century, heavyweight champ Joe Frazier against Muhammad Ali, in the first of 3 classic battles of will and contrasting styles. Each is undefeated. Ali, a charismatic and polarizing figure, had been stripped of his title for refusing induction into the military. Now, upon his return, many choose sides based on political as much as ring preferences. The epic fight goes 15 rounds, with Frazier retaining his title on a unanimous decision.
And of course, in recent years, Oscar De La Hoya, Roy Jones, Vladimir Klitschko have all fought in New York as well. With apologies now to Marvin Hagler. Al, let's welcome in marvelous Marv Albert.
Well, guys, you know, being one who grew up in Brooklyn, my earliest memories of boxing were produced by my father, who would take me to fights in Coney Island. There were club fights, pro fights at some old rickety arena which no longer stands, and I got to love the sport. And I would listen to the fights on the radio, the blow-by-blow of Don Dumphy and Les Kiter. And I'll never forget the Floyd Patterson, Inge Mario Hansen bouts at Yankee Stadium and at the Polo Grounds. And then, of course, Friday night fights, which brought it to everybody across America.
The Toonderbolt. Remember Johansson's Toonderbolt that knocked out Floyd Patterson. Hey, we're all old enough. We all remember Friday night fights on NBC, even the Wednesday night fights.
Right.
On ABC, there was some Monday night fights. Guys, it's time for the Saturday night fights. You're doing the heavy lifting. You can take the rest of the night off if you want it, but
Good to be here with you fellas. However, briefly.
Nice of you to drop by, Bob.
A lot shorter than 19 innings at the ballpark.
Right. You know, some people get to walk to work. That's what Peter Quillin did today. His stroll was about 10 minutes through his hometown of Brooklyn to the Barclays Center for what was supposed to be a middleweight championship fight against Andy Lee. But Quillin did not make weight yesterday, which means the title is not on the line tonight. Kenny Rice spoke with Quillin earlier.
He had never missed weight before for a title fight until yesterday. Peter, what happened?
Well, you know, I tried my hardest to make the weight, and it was shutting off not like how I usually would like it to do it. But, you know, I took off a year. I just tried not to blame anybody and just say that, you know, this is the way the story is going to be written, no matter what I thought it was going to be.
As far as yesterday, you have about a 2-hour period trying to make the weight. You go through an arduous process for that. Physically, emotionally, anything taken out of you as you get ready for this fight?
No, I think I'm at the point right now where it's just I let go of whatever I couldn't control at that moment and just here to fight. And that's the most important thing about, you know, being a boxer is that we be able to fight another day. So the belt, you know, Andy leads with the belt, but, you know, I'm looking to lead with the victory.
Well, Quillin vacated his middleweight title last September, and it was Andy Lee who claimed it in December, and Lee spoke with Kenny earlier.
Andy came here thinking he was going to defend his title when your opponent, Quillin, does not make weight. What was your reaction?
Disappointed. Like I said, I came here to defend my title. And it was pretty unprofessional of him not to make weight. We had 10 weeks to prepare. But I sympathize with him because making weight is the hardest part, and sometimes in boxing. And he did make a genuine effort to make the weight, and he really struggled. So I sympathize with him, but really he should have been on top of it, you know, long ago.
Andy, in any way, does this change your approach, though, for a fight that's expected to be a tough fight?
I can't allow it to. Even though, like, it's still a meaningful fight. I still have to win. He's still trying to beat me. Even though there's no title on the line, our reputation is on the line, so that means just as much to me. So yeah, I have to let my approach be the same.
All right, Lee Quillin, our first fight tonight, and of course one of the all-time greats who looks like he could still get in the ring right now, at least for 5 or 6 rounds. Sugar Ray Leonard, who will be with Marv analyzing the fight at ringside. Danny Garcia going against Lamont Peterson in our second main event. So Garcia undefeated. Give me the scouting report on Danny Garcia.
Well, Danny Garcia, left hook, is one of the best in his weight class, Al. Mentally, he has composure, which allows him to sit back, pick his shots, He works the body, which brings the hands down of his opponent, and there you see that beautiful left hook works like a charm.
Perfect visual evidence right there. So you've got Garcia 29-0, 17 knockouts. Lamont Peterson there, he is getting taped up out of Washington, D.C. A fascinating background. We'll look at that a little bit later on, but what makes him tick?
Well, Lamont Peterson is a boxer puncher, highly efficient fighter, which means he doesn't waste many punches. He's very economical, and they're precise, too. He loves to wear down his opponents, but for Peterson to win, he has to pick his spots and avoid slugfest.
All right, go grab a couple of lozenges.
For sure.
Called a couple of good ones tonight, Ray Leonard. That'll be the second main event tonight. And coming up first, though, in about 5 minutes, the fighters in the first main event will make their way to the ring. Peter Quillin, about ready to put his undefeated record on the line in his hometown of Brooklyn against Ireland's Andy Lee, who has won his last 2 fights with dramatic knockouts.
Whatever he brings, I'll be ready for it. Never in my mind I'm going to lose. There's never even a thought of losing.
I don't know how to lose. I haven't lost yet. I find a way to win every time.
When it's on the line, you have to win or I have to win. I have to win.
I just want to go in there and punch him in his mouth.
Tonight in Brooklyn, New York, the place to be is the Barclays Center. Getting set for a big night of boxing. The first main event features 30-year-old middleweight champion Andy Lee against the undefeated 31-year-old Peter Quillin.
My opponent, I don't really know a lot about him, but that's your bottom dollar. He know a lot about me. I've done everything in camp to win this fight.
Winning and losing in this fight is life-changing. By the time you reach the ring, you know exactly what you have to do. I will never lose a fight by decision. I'm going to do everything in my power to knock you out.
All right, we're moments away from our first fight of the night, and we are joined by cruiserweight contender B.J. Flores, who will be reporting from both corners. First, Andy Lee. What does he have to do against the hard-punching Peter Quillin?
Well, first of all, Marv, he's got to start quicker than he did in his last 2 fights. He was behind by a lot when he scored devastating knockouts. Now let's talk about what he did to score those knockouts. He stayed on his back foot. What I mean by that is he's a very good counterpuncher. He needs to look for opportunities to set up his left hand and his explosive right hook against a very aggressive Peter Quillin.
And what is Quillin's biggest concern about Peterson?
Well, Peter Quillin, first of all, he's facing Andy Lee, who's a southpaw and relatively tall. Against a southpaw, you have to focus on the left hook and the right hand, and coincidentally, those are 2 of Peter Quillin's very good punches. He needs to also vary his attack. Work to the head, work to the body, not let Andy Lee get his timing, mix him up, confuse him, look to land those big punches. That's what he's got to do to win tonight, Marv.
All right, both fighters are ready to make their way to the ring. Let's go to arena announcer Michael C. Williams.
Now set to make his way to the ring, Peter Kid Chocolate Quillin.
Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on the tree.
This will be Peter Quillin's first fight since April 19th of last year. 51 weeks. He moved here to Brooklyn from the Midwest at the age of 18, had just a few bucks to his name. Tonight, his 21st fight in the city of New York. He did not make weight yesterday, so he won't be able to reclaim his title tonight, but he still puts his undefeated record on the line against Andy Lee.
Sleep in peace when day is done, that's what I mean.
And now, making his way to the ring, Andy Lee.
Fish in the sea, you know how I feel.
Just a couple of weeks ago, Andy Lee was named the 2014 Person of the Year in his hometown of Limerick, Ireland, where in homes and certainly in pubs right about now at about 1:45 on Sunday morning, they gathered to watch this fight. What a year he had. He earned his first title in December with a dramatic come from behind knockout thanks to his signature right hook. Andy Lee. Andy Lee in those last two fights behind on the scorecards of the judges and ended both with that right hook. One punch knockouts. A look now at the tail of the tape presented by Corona. Quillin was 10 ounces over the necessary weight yesterday, so this is not a title fight. Lee with a 3-inch height advantage. He's 6'2", reach advantage as well. And there were the weights yesterday. Again, the rules: no standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. On the referee or the doctor can stop the fight. And should anything controversial arise, we have veteran referee and 2015 International Boxing Hall of Fame inductee Steve Smolger standing by with all of the explanations. And now we go to the arena announcer, Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Barclays Center here in Brooklyn, New York. This is Premier Boxing Champions. Tonight, in the first main event of the evening, 12 rounds of boxing in the middleweight division. The 3 judges ringside scoring this bout will be Guido Cavalieri, Glenn Feldman, and Eric Marlinski. The referee in charge of the action is Steve Willis. And now, introducing first the red corner. He wears the cheetah trunks trimmed in brown and gold as a professional. He stands undefeated, 31 victories, 22 by knockout with no defeats. Hailing from and fighting out of Brooklyn, New York, introducing Peter Kid Chocolate Quillin. And across the ring, his opponent tonight fights out of the blue corner. He wears the black trunks with red trim. His professional record, 34 victories with 2 defeats, 24 wins by way of knockout. Hailing from Limerick, Ireland, introducing Andy Lee.
We got no announcer, so we're going to do this myself. All right, guys and gentlemen. All right, you both received instructions. I want you to obey the commands, protect yourselves at all times. Right now, we're going to call everything under the letters here, that's going to be low. Same thing here. We're going to call it under the letters, we're going to call it low. Attack gloves, let's go to work.
And this will be round 1, scheduled for 12. Peter Quillin, 31 years old, a Cuban-American, born in Chicago, grew up in Grand Rapids, Michigan, also the hometown of Floyd Mayweather. And as Al mentioned, he now makes his home here in Brooklyn. His dad, Pedro, is Cuban. Andy Lee, out of London, England, but moved to Ireland at the age of 14. And Ray Lee did get knocked down in the first round against John Jackson by a big right hook on the jaw. A couple of fights back, but he did get right up, got right back up, and eventually knocked out Jackson 4 rounds later. So he does show a solid chin.
Well, I'm looking at Peter Quillin, as a matter of fact, to see there's no perspiration on his body. Neither Andy Lee, which means they didn't warm up too well. I'm very concerned to see whether or not Peter is able to just forget about yesterday. That's all behind him now.
Quillin at 31-0, 22 by knockout. 15 of the knockouts have come in 2 rounds or less. And going up against a southpaw in Lee, although his right hook has been more dangerous than a straight left, gets the left in right there.
Did you see that punch attempted by Peter? He threw it as a looping right hand. Those kind of shots are very effective against a southpaw. But Andy being so tall, it makes it a little difficult. He needs to get inside his right foot, Lee's right foot.
Now let's go to BJ.
You see Quillin kind of measuring up Andy Lee here. Andy Lee in that southpaw stance. Both guys are kind of posturing in front of each other right now. First round, still trying to size each other up, but good punch by Andy Lee a few moments ago, guys.
And remember, Quillin has had that long layoff his last fight last April. 12-round unanimous decision over Lucas Konechny, an experienced fighter, but it was all Quillin. Quillin's 4 previous fights. This Quillin landing before Konechny. He had come up with 12 knockdowns of his opponents.
I saw something when Peter came in. His right hand was down, and Andy attempted to throw a left hand. He has to be very careful of that punch. A straight left hand from the southpaw. You see it again.
Andy Lee turning pro in 2000. Oh!
Wow!
A right hand by Quillin puts Lee down.
Hey, are you all right? Are you all right? You see, move. All right.
15 seconds remaining in round 1. Quillin continues to battle after the bell. He took that shot after the bell had sounded.
Unbelievable. A great shot by Peter.
Second knockdown of Lee's career.
Here we see Peter, that looping right hand, the same punch that's effective against southpaws. It does work. Look at the concentration of Peter. He blocked everything out and landed that beautiful right hand, overhand right. Once again, another angle. It's a looping right hand. Works very well.
What a start for Kid Chocolate. He adopted the name of one of the great Cuban fighters to succeed here in the U.S. We just had a shot of his wife, Allison. So Lee going down once during the course of the round and then was on his way down by virtue of a punch that was taken after the bell had sounded.
Now it's not over now because Andy is very resourceful. He very good recuperative powers.
Irish Andy Lee, 34-2, 24 by knockout. He's won 4 of his last 5 by KO. Our unofficial score, Steve Farhan has a 10-8 round due to that knockdown. And Lee Ray, a tall middleweight, 6'2", about 3 inches taller than Quillin.
That's a very tall middleweight at 6'2".
Minute gone by in round 2. Lee has been down. We mentioned he'd been down in the first round against John Jackson a couple of fights ago.
I had a chance to talk today in the dressing room with Peter, and I said, man, you have to stay focused, and he's staying focused. His eyes are just darting towards Andy Lee.
I know that you mentioned yesterday that was a concern when you were breaking down both fighters because Quillin did not make the weight.
So he had so many other things on his mind, Marv, and I stated to him to let that be gone. That happened yesterday.
How about the way he's handling a southpaw? Obviously, he got to him in the first round, but is this the right road to success. Oh, he got him again with the right hand.
He's doing the right thing. He's not really rushing himself because Andy can punch. And he has to be careful of the right hook from Andy. But he's doing the right thing. He's picking his shots, taking his time, staying on balance.
And in the corner, Ray, in between the first and second round, they were telling him, Andy, don't pull straight back and make sure you keep your hands up. Drop underneath that punch, don't back straight up. That's exactly how he got caught. And doing a bit of posturing in front of Kid Chocolate right now, and that's what's allowing him to hit him with the right hand.
This is round 2 of 12. Oh, big shot from Quillin, and they exchange. Lee got the worst of that. Quillin just off with that left hook.
Beautiful work by Kid Chocolate in that last round. You see him moving his head, confusing Andy Lee, landing that big lead left hook, getting him hurt there in the corner and flooring against him. Very good round for Kid Chocolate.
All right? You're doing beautiful work in here, all right? Let's keep it just like you're doing, all right? This kid's getting desperate every round, all right? That's 2 rounds in the bank. 2 rounds, you done hurt him, okay? When you going after him on the inside with that chin tucked.
The voice of Eric Brown in the corner of Peter Quillin. It is on to round 3. A strong start for Kid Chocolate, Peter Quillin. Andy Lee hit the canvas in round 1. And was hit with a hard combination at the end of that second round.
Well, see, now Peter is aware that he can land the left hook, the right overhand right, and he should be putting those punches together again.
Oh, the left hand by Lee, and that hurt Quillin. A left hook delivered by Andy Lee, and now a right hand, and Quillin may be shaken up.
Look at Peter's right hand. It's starting to drop a little bit. With the southpaw, a straight left hand. He's waiting too long. Peter's waiting too long here. Oh, good
right
shot.
hand, and down goes
Unbelievable.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, go ahead.
Referee Steve Willis checks him out. So Lee, after starting this round by landing on Quillin, hits the deck again.
And I was about to say Peter needs to do something. He needs to throw punches, and he threw it. A beautiful right hand.
Now using the jab, the left hand by Lee got in. And went to the body successfully. Back comes Quillin with the combination.
Because of the weight loss, Andy's trying to make Peter work hard every round. Because losing that weight, you know, especially in the late rounds, that's when it takes its toll.
That left eye of Lee does not look good. Blood coming from the eye. Final seconds. Round 3.
Another knockdown here. Looping right hand by Peter. Dropping Andy. In fact, no, it looks like he stepped on his toe, on his shoe. Steve?
Let's bring in Steve Smoger, Hall of Fame referee, who is with us. What about the stepping on the shoe?
There you go. All right. Time in. Here we go.
when you have an orthodox fighter and a right-hander, you got to be very orthodox in the southpaw, very careful. And I think that wasn't a knockdown. However, it's a flash decision, and it may have been precipitated by a punch, but they definitely Peter stepped on Andy's foot.
Round 4 scheduled for 12. We're at Barclays Arena in Brooklyn, New York.
You know this guy's a pity pattern with a jab. Not too many jabs using. It's like all power shots. Punching with conviction. Each one of them. Throwing the bomb. Throwing a big shot.
Lee obviously trying to stay on the outside, although he has the height and reach advantage, but he has taken some hard shots.
And Ray, I think it's going to be very difficult for either fighter to take control until they start using that left jab. Even though Quillin has scored 2 knockdowns, neither guy has really gained control of the fight so far. So either one of these guys needs to start using the jab up and down if they want to take control at this point.
And the jab is so important. It keeps you off, keeps the opponent off balance. It's all big shots.
Exactly, but you see how heavy-handed Quillin is. Every time he touches Andy, he shakes him, and that's something we talked about in the fighter meetings yesterday. This kid's really got dynamite in both fists.
On the other hand, Lee has come from behind with knockouts in the past.
Well, Lee told us yesterday that in his last 2 fights, even though he was behind, he never believed he would lose. And he's behind now.
Last December in Las Vegas, he stopped Matt Karabov in the 6th round, which took the vacant title. That was a fight that Quillin could have had, but he took time out due to the fact of an uncle who was dying of pancreatic cancer, wanted to be with his wife who was about to give birth, so he's had this long layoff. But he came out strong in the 1st round. See Lee measuring Quillin and staying away from Quillin. Crowd wants to see some more action here in this 4th round. So a quiet round 4.
Time!
And you see some of the groundwork that Kid Chocolate has done so far, landing that beautiful overhand right over the left hand of Andy Lee, coming back with the right hand, the left hook. We talked about this beforehand, guys. He's got 2 very hard punches here in the 2nd round. More confusion of Andy Lee with good head movement by Kid Chocolate, flurrying him in the corner. Got Andy Lee in a lot of trouble here. Good stuff from Peter Quillin early, guys.
It is on to round 5. Marv Albert, Hall of Famer Sugar Ray Leonard, B.J. Flores, Kenny Rice, Al Michaels. NBC Prime Time Boxing.
You know that Peter has not shown any signs of having to lose that weight. I mean, he looks stronger, he looks focused. A lot of heart, power. It's mind over matter.
Strong opening 2 rounds for Peter Quillin, who comes in 31-0, 22 by knockout. Oh, big right hand, just off.
You see there, Peter threw a shot to the body, right hand to the body. He has to start mixing his punches up now. Not the same thing over and over again. Because Andy now is aware of those left hooks and those looping right hands.
Yes, Irish Andy Lee staying away here. Born in London, England, moved to Ireland at the age of 14, raised by his Irish parents in Limerick, Ireland. In fact, we're told that the parish priest in Limerick said he'd be here tonight, but he has other duties to take care of. Lee at 34-2, 21 by knockout. He's won 4 of his last 5 by KO.
Andy Lee is so dangerous at every time. Even when he's hurt, he's dangerous. So Peter has to be very concerned about that.
Left hand.
That punch hurt him.
Comes back with the right. Once again, Lee is hurt. Uppercut landed by Quillin.
Now this is when Peter needs to go to the body. Work those body shots. Because you bring the man's hands down, your opponent's hands down. That's when you take advantage of that.
Right hand got in by Quillin as we come up on 10 seconds to go in the 5th.
Time! No punch. Beautiful. You see what I'm saying? Combinations, right? Not one shot at a time. Give me that towel. Combinations, baby. You understand? Hook 'em. Okay. Stay with me.
And in the corner of Andy Lee, Adam Booth out of London. Lee hooking up with Booth after Emmanuel Stewart passed away. Andy telling us yesterday if it were not for Emmanuel, he would not be here in this position. He said we were even closer outside the ring. Emmanuel Stewart, the legendary trainer. And in fact, Lee did train at the famed Kronk Gymnasium in Detroit.
Watch your feet there.
Good advice from Peter's corner from his trainer, Eric Brown. Combinations. One punch will put your man down, but 2 punches, combinations, will take him out.
In the corner in between round 5 and 6, in the corner of Andy Lee, they told him, listen, stay there, stay in range, land that left hand. I'm a little surprised they're not telling Andy Lee to move the other way, out of the right hand of Peter Quillin. He'd be well advised to slide that way instead of right into all of Peter Quillin's power.
Peter Quillin has put Andy Lee down twice. Once in the 1st round, once in the 3rd.
And Andy remains dangerous. And I'm impressed. Really impressed with Peter. He's so focused here after all he's been through.
But with coming in overweight and trying to get down as this fight continues, if Lee hangs in there, what effect does that have on Quillin?
Well, you know what? He just has to continue to punch. And like his trainer said, combinations. Take advantage of the opportunity when you put your man down.
These middle rounds are so important for Andy Lee. Peter Quillin is used to striking guys and then not getting back up. Andy Lee has been resilient so far. He's still in this fight, but he's got to start to do something to gain control of these rounds. Work that right jab, move the other way, land that right hook, guys.
They did get a right hand in. It grazed the head of Quillin. And as we mentioned earlier, his last 2 fights, he was trailing on the scorecard. We're talking about Andy Lee, and he was able to come back. And Ray, when you've scored come from behind knockouts, as Lee has, is there a tendency to rely too much on your power?
Without question. I mean, you know, when you have a big punch, a knockout punch, you rely upon that thing. It tells you that you can knock anyone out and anyone out.
That'll conclude round 6.
My name is Daniel Jacobs. In 2011, I was diagnosed with a very rare bone cancer.
Come on.
It was life-threatening. The doctors told me that you wouldn't be able to box again. Those people were wrong. And on August 9th, 2014, I became a champion.
Live from New York, it's Saturday Night Live with host Taraji P. Henson and musical guest Mumford & Sons. All new Saturday Night Live. That'll be later tonight on NBC.
Doctor wants to look at you. No, the doctor wants to.
They apparently are checking the eye of Andy Lee. Well, it looked like they were taking a close look at his chin. There was blood earlier coming from the left eye of Lee. So this is round 7. And both of Andy Lee's losses have come by 7th round knockout.
He's always dangerous. Lee is always dangerous.
But a smirk there from Lee as he's trying to get a left hand in.
It appears that Quillin is stronger now. He's getting stronger. He started off a little cautious, rightfully so, to see what he has in the gas tank. It appears to me he has a full tank.
Record 31-0, 22 by knockout. In fact, 20 of his first 31 professional fights have taken place in New York City area. Let's check in with Kenny Rice. Kenny.
All right, thanks, Marv. In the corner, Andy Lee. What was said, David, between rounds? You were talking to one of the doctors about the eye. What was said?
Sorry, say that again?
What was said about Andy here? You were discussing his eye?
No. I don't have a concern with the eye.
Everything okay?
Yeah. He's working his way back into a rough start fight.
What do you think's going to happen the rest of the way now, the way it's going?
It's a sharp shooting punch out. And it's a sharp shooting punch out. Andy's taking his best shots and he's now looking to see if he can find his.
So all good, no concerns?
Oh, concerns, yeah, because he's behind in the fight, but it's a fight, right?
It's a fight. All right, thank you, Marv.
All right, Adam Booth in the corner of Andy Lee. What trainer will admit that there is something wrong with their fighter?
No trainer. In fact, Lee attempted to throw a looping left hand. That doesn't really work with the southpaw. That punch works when you throw it straight, as opposed with an orthodox fighter like Quillin is, the looping right hand works fantastic because of the angles.
Andy Lee going down twice in this fight, in the first round and the third round. And the right hand, down goes Quillin. The right hand by Lee.
6, 7. Hey, you're all right, right? Yeah. You're all right.
First time that Peter Quillin has gone down, and you can see the confidence of Lee. First time in the career of Kid Chocolate, Peter Quillin, that he's hit the canvas.
See the knockdown in the last round. Beautiful overhand left and right cross by Andy Lee. You see him set Pete up with a left hand right on the chin. Beautiful right hook by Andy Lee. Let's see if he can take advantage of some of that momentum from the last round.
And guys, as we mentioned earlier, yes, Lee is a southpaw, obviously, but the feeling is his right hook is more dangerous than the straight left.
Oh, the right hand is potent. In fact, it's combinations now with these guys. They need to throw combinations, put their punches together, put their punches in bunches, and that's what the corners want from both fighters. One punch puts them down, 2 punches can put them away.
What does this do to Quillin going down for the first time in his career?
Yeah, it's a shock. It's such a shock. I mean, all of a sudden you're down. You don't know, but he handled it quite well. He took his time, got up well, composed himself, and he's coming back. But like I said, you can never count Lee out. with that power that he has on his right hook, he's always in the fight.
Lee's last loss was June of 2012. He was TKO'd in the 7th by Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., and he was ahead on all 3 cards, getting off to a strong start.
And in the corner of Quillin, you know, guys, sometimes the best defense is a good offense. Eric Brown telling Peter Quillin, let your hands go. Start to work your jab. Use that offense. He didn't do that, and Andy Lee took advantage of that last round with that big left hand, right hook.
This is round 8, scheduled for 12.
It's really hard. Wow, it's really hard fighting a guy like Andy Lee. He's tall, 6'2", he can move. He has a powerful right hook, has a good chin. He will get back up. And it's very difficult. And awkward.
Lee,
big heart too, by the way.
Turning pro back in 2006 at the age of 21, following an illustrious amateur career. And that's when he signed with Hall of Fame trainer, manager Emmanuel Stewart. Fancy footwork. Oh, left hand. Didn't do any damage, but he got it in on Quillin.
I was about to say Quillin cannot wait. He's posing too much. Waiting.
And now back inside the Barclays Center, 8 rounds into Lee Quillin. Another main event still to come. Philadelphia's 27-year-old Danny Garcia putting his 29-0 record on the line against Washington, D.C.'s 31-year-old Lamont Peterson. Both have been champions at 140. Tonight they'll fight at 143. Marv, back to you.
All right, thank you, Al. As for Andy Lee, only one of his last 8 fights lasted longer than 8 rounds. And this is round 9, scheduled for 12. All right, Kenny Rice just spent some time in the corner. Peter Quillin. Kenny, what do you have?
I'm with Eric. Eric, what was being said over here looked like everybody's getting a little excited.
No, everybody's cool. We're just trying to keep him on track, keep him focused on what we want him to do. You know what I mean? I don't want him to stand around waiting on this guy. I want him to stay busy letting his hands go.
What has happened, do you think, since that early knockdown and he was so good early on? Has anything changed as far as you see?
No, kid's fine. We play chess. We don't play checkers.
How's this thing going to wrap up? Is it going to go the distance?
It could. The bottom line is we came to win, whatever way it comes.
You worry about the right hook of Lee. Have you cautioned him about that?
We worry about everything as far as that goes. We don't play him cheap at all. We expect anything to come out. We expect him to be dangerous with anything.
Thanks, Eric.
Thank you.
Marv?
We play chess, not checkers. Coming up on the halfway mark of round 9, it's evolved into a feeling out process, a lunging attempt by Quillin.
Both fighters are waiting for that one big shot, and that's really a mistake.
Well, Lee got one in right there.
And you see, guys, you know, Andy Lee slowly starting to work his way back into this fight. He's hanging around. We're in round 9 here. He scored a knockdown 2 rounds ago, and he's starting to take advantage of little gaps that Peter Quillin is leaving. Still stepping over to his left side, but he's finding a way to make it work with that left hand and that crisp right hook.
Oh, the left hand by Quillin going to the jab. And this is headed to round 10, scheduled for 12.
It's beautiful. We see here straight left hand coming from Andy Lee. Peter was waiting too long. He paused. He waits too long.
Our unofficial score, Steve Farhead has it 84 apiece through 9 rounds. It is round number 10. And Quillin coming out with the left hand. Good combination by Quillin. Trying to go to the uppercut. Being acknowledged by Lee.
And Marvin, again, it's the combinations that's going to really surprise each other. They need to put the punches together.
Left hand by Lee. Quillin able to counter back. So the action picking up here in the 10th round, which appears to be a very close fight. We mentioned 84-84 after 9, according to Steve Farhead. And the referee, Steve Willis, has let them go. Very few breaks in the action.
There's no need to. I mean, these guys been throwing bombs from the first round. From the first round on. Quillin gets in trouble when he waits, when he sits there, and all of a sudden, it's like Andy Lee is like a snake trying to trap him. He waits too long.
Andy Lee in the black trunks, Peter Quillin in what he calls cheetah.
Watch those heads. Watch your heads.
Earlier in the bout, Lee bleeding from his left eye. He's been knocked down twice. Quillin knocked down for the first time in his career. And coming up a bit later on, what should be a terrific matchup. Two of the best junior welterweights in the world. Danny Garcia, he of the wicked left hand. 29-0-17 by knockout, facing Lamont Peterson, 33-2-17 by KO. Final seconds, round 10. Oh, late left landed by Quillin. The rest of this fight is brought to you with no commercial interruptions by Corona, who invites you to find your beach.
Okay. You know they can score this whichever way they want it, right? But you got to keep.
Here we have Lee backing away, gets caught by a beautiful left hook. And here, once again, against the ropes, respect.
You hear me? All right. Pete, this is your fight, man. You got this fight, but you got to take it. You got to finish strong down the stretch.
11th round.
So Peter Quillin, Andy Lee come out for round 11. The way things started, it did not appear that this was going to go further than 2 or 3.
Not at all. But, I mean, what Andy is trying to do now, Lee is trying to do now, he's trying to steal this round. Because for both fighters, I think this is a deciding factor, these last 2 rounds.
And I'm told that both fighters, this a combined total, have landed 58 power shots through 10 rounds. That is a very high number. Oh, right hand by Quillin. That was brushed off by Lee.
The concentration on both fighters is amazing. And especially Quillin.
Good exchange. See Quillin acknowledging Eric Brown in the corner. And Brown just screams something out. Halfway through round 11.
I wonder why I'm not seeing, I would like to see more shots to the body from Andy Lee. Straight left hand. Kind of mix things up.
And a reminder, we touched on it earlier. Lee, if he loses, would not lose his title because Quillin did not make weight. It's a non-title bout and a very tough fight for the undefeated Peter Quillin. Is obviously an upgrade in terms of talent, in terms of who he is fighting.
Tell you what, the last round, both fighters have really put their punches together. Punches in bunches. It means a lot. It's a very close fight. Too close for comfort.
So this is headed to a 12th and final round. And we'll stay right here.
Well, we have to assume that. We have to assume it. No.
And you going the opposite way. Huh? Huh? Your teeth? Okay, all right, don't worry about that.
And now don't go out low once, go out 1 and 2 and 3 times. Do you understand?
One more time. Understand me? Do you understand me? I need it. I needed this round. Pete, I needed this round. I need this round big time. I need this round.
You've got to go low, stay low, whip and go low. Do you understand? Do you understand? Set it up first.
Lee taking a little extra time coming out of his corner. 12th and final round. Boxing historian Steve Farhood, our unofficial score, has it 104-102 in favor of Quillin. And those 2 additional points due to the 2 knockdowns. Lee also was able to put Quillin on the canvas. And let's see, does Andy Lee have enough to make it 3 consecutive comebacks? Left hand on the chin of Quillin.
He takes I'm just totally impressed with Peter Quillin. He's taking these shots from a big puncher in Andy Lee, and 12th round. It's amazing.
And this is the longest that Lee has ever gone. Quillin, an early knockout fighter. In fact, 15 of his 22 knockouts have come in 2 rounds or less. And here we are in the 12th.
They both have put on a magnificent performance here. And this appears to be the deciding factor. This last 4th round.
That right hand just grazed Lee.
You know, in the corner of Andy Lee in that last round, Adam Booth told him, listen, stay low and fire up. He's been setting up the left hand of the body. He's been shooting that consistently through the last few rounds. Adam Booth said, hey, this is the round, take advantage, bring the left hand up top, score the knockout. You guys
I would think Lee's feeling is he needs a knockout after he went down twice. Final minute. 12th and final round.
Peter Quillin is taking his time. He's really looking at his man. He's slipping punches. He's keeping his balance. Oh, the looping right hand. Left hook, beautiful left hook.
Quillin looking for the furious finish. Half minute left. Lee looking for angles, having difficulty finding Quillin in the right spot with out of 15 seconds remaining in the bout.
That's right, let's go.
Oh, what an exchange. And it ends the way it started. An exciting fight. Peter Quillin, Kid Chocolate, undefeated, 31-0. Andy Lee, out of London, England, coming in at 34-2. Back with the decision in a moment.
Let's turn it up.
Tech gloves, let's go to work.
Oh, look out, Lee goes down. A right hand by Quillin.
Oh,
right hand, and down goes Lee. And unloads a right hand, down goes Quillin.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance inside the ring, will go to your official judges' scorecards. Your first judge, Guido Cavalieri, sees the fight 113-112. He scores it for Lee. Your second judge, Eric Marlinski, scores the fight 113-112, scoring it for Quillin. Your third and final judge at ringside, Glenn Feldman, scores the fight 113-113. He has it even. The fight is declared a split draw.
Wow. I don't see an argument on that, although my feeling was in that final round that Lee needed a knockout or a knockdown. Terrific fight, Ray.
Rematch.
Andy Lee down in rounds 1 and 3.
You need something?
Peter Quillin down in round 7. And neither fighter seems to be unhappy with the decision.
It demands a rematch, for sure.
All right, let's go to Kenny Rice. Kenny.
All right, thank you, Marv. Here with Peter. First off, what were you and Andy talking about just moments ago after you heard the decision?
I actually told him thank you for the opportunity to fight him. It was a good opportunity to do this here in Brooklyn. You know, he's a great champion, great fighter all around, and I'm just very thankful that I got to grace the ring with him tonight.
Did you agree with the decision?
Well, you know, I'm not a judge. I can never agree with something I don't know. And this is not my job. My job is to come in here and fight. And I think the judges have it in the best hands of themselves.
Early in this fight, from the first round and the early parts of this fight, you have a couple of knockdowns. Did you think you'd still be going in the 12th round against Lee?
I get paid to do 12 rounds. I'm not here just to say that I'm going to take everybody out. I'm here to fight from round 1 to round 12. And it was up to Andy Lee to stand in there and take some of the blows I was throwing at him.
Peter, great fight. Thank you.
Thank you again. I appreciate y'all giving me the opportunity to be here.
All right, Peter Quillin.
So a thrilling opener coming up next. The main event.
Andy Lee is here. Andy, what did you think about the decision?
I thought it was a hard fight to score because he had the knockdowns, but I boxed consistently, I thought, especially going down the stretch, which is where it counts. A draw, I'm satisfied with a draw. I had to give it, honestly, to give it to Peter in his hometown, I wouldn't have had much to argue about, I'll be honest. But I think a draw is a fair decision.
Early on, he's impressive. You're knocked down a couple of times. How do you keep getting back? How do you get stronger and knock him down?
I never give up. He's going to have to carry me out on a stretcher, I think. But, you keep fighting. We're fighters. That's what we do. He would have done the same. And, look, he's a great fighter. We had a good fight, and we can do it again.
I know you guys aren't matchmakers, but maybe you will do it again.
Yeah, I'm happy to. We can have a rematch. And for the title next time.
All right. Thank you, Andy. Let's go to Al.
All right, thank you very much, Kenny Rice. So a thrilling fight in many ways, but a very highly unpopular decision. The crowd's still upset about it. Nobody likes to see a draw, but that's the way it winds up in our opener. Coming up next, our second main event, two 140-pound champions fighting tonight at 143, highly anticipated matchup. Philadelphia's undefeated Danny Garcia against Washington, D.C.'s Lamont Peterson. That's coming up.